Cortney Baker. I'm owner and founder and CEO of KidsCare Therapy. KidsCare has had some very humble beginnings, and I'd like to share them with you. In 2002, I had just gotten married and started working for another company doing pediatric home health, and loved everything I did. Loved the kids, loved the parent involvement right from the beginning, loved being able to do therapy in a child's own environment, and I just didn't love who I did it for. I felt that I wasn't being valued and appreciated and respected. So I just gotten married in 2002, and I went home one day and I said, "Hey Jason, guess what? We're gonna start a company." And Jason had been laid off because, do you remember the economy right after September 11th? It was horrible. And during his time off, he looked for a consultant online. And I had a partner in the beginning, and she and I went and met with the consultant, and he told us very point blank, don't do it. And 3 times he discouraged us from starting KidsCare Therapy. And I told him, that's great, I appreciate it, but we're gonna do it anyway. He decided to come along and help, and what a ride it was. So we incorporated in 2003, in February of 2003. I was pregnant the whole time, so I had a baby July 1st, 2003. And took a week and a half maternity leave off. I don't expect anybody to do that though. I took a week and a half maternity leave, and then KidsCare Therapy opened for business October 27th, 2003 in my partner's home. I had 10 patients. I would drive from Plano and I would go to Midlothian and Grand Prairie, Arlington, Duncanville, South Dallas, the South Dallas projects, back to my after-schoolers in Plano. I loved the South Dallas projects. Those were actually my favorite. And it's funny, I won't ask anybody to do anything I wouldn't do, but I'll do a lot of stuff. So the South Dallas projects were my favorite because I had 2 little girls who they were absolutely precious. I adored them. And they would sit and they'd stroke my hair and they'd say, "Miss Cortney, I'm gonna ride the DART bus to your house." And I would just say, "Bring it on, girls." So I had 10 patients, and we operated out of my partner's home. And I would go out and do the therapy, and the first employee we had were speech therapy assistants. So at one time I had 4 assistants and I was supervising, and we were tapped out. So we decided we were going to start hiring. So we sent mailers out, postcards out to schools to get STAs and CFs, because we thought that would be the best way to spread the word. But we also were growing like crazy. We had this really, I thought ingenious, but I thought it up, marketing plan, and it worked. It was so crazy. I'm not even gonna tell you because it was just out there, but it worked. Right before our 1-year anniversary, we moved into our first office space, and it was in a little tiny, maybe 1,500 square foot. We had 3 little offices and a reception area. And we hired our first employee, and it was a receptionist named Belinda. She's still with us since 2004. Her first day at work, she came in and she had a desk, and I think the desk was maybe this big, and she said that, you know, she was here to show up to do her job. And I said, "Great, I'm glad you're here, because look, there's that box, that's your chair, let's build it." So we built her chair the first day. Her desk was tiny. She had my big dinosaur, that, you remember those big monitors? That was her computer, like was the big monitor, and it was the Dell dinosaur that I used in college. and we had 2 cordless phones because we had 2 landlines, and we had 2 cordless phones, and she'd have to take them to the bathroom because we were so afraid we were going to miss a referral. And so she would have to run to the bathroom taking the little phone, and she had to answer it a few times too, ask her about it. And then we were just growing like crazy. It was exciting, it was fun, but I was in charge of the billing, and that was a disaster. So I was putting payroll on my credit cards, but we got that all worked out, thank God. We were driving in our alleyway, and it was bulky trash day for Plano, and there was this huge mustard, ugly file cabinet. It was like a 3-drawer file cabinet, and I was like, stop the car. I said, we've got to get that in the car. And I had an Explorer, and I was like, we have to have that at work, because we didn't have any money to buy a big cabinet or file cabinet, and there was one for free. So I was like, we can't let this pass us up. So we got this mustard, ugly file cabinet, and we brought it up to work, and we would all fight over whose office didn't get it. It was so funny. So we would go up and we'd move it in the middle of the night, not in the middle of the night, but after work, just so somebody else would walk in and be like, oh, it's in here. And so anyway, and then I guess we were probably like 2 years into KidsCare, and my partner and I, at that time, we just decided to go our separate ways. And then Jason came on board, and his first day, he showed up to work, and he was like, so what's my title? And a few employees and I were standing around, and Belinda was one of them, and we were like, how about HR director? That sounds good. So he became our HR director, and we rolled this little little file cabinet or file drawer thing to his office, and we're like, good luck. And we asked him, because a printer had broken, and we were like, hey, you can be IT too because the printer's broken. And he was like, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. And we said, neither do we. But it was just fun and exciting, and it was just, we would have lunchtime team building at Razoo's, and shut the office down and go to Razoo's, and yeah, we survived. We just had this growth plan, and then we went from Dallas and we branched into Fort Worth, and then Fort Worth was good, so we kept going, and we just kind of kept going all over the place. And now we're in 7 cities in Texas and Colorado, and we have expansion plans to go further. I'm so excited about what we have to offer, and they won't let me tell you yet, but it's so exciting. So it just kind of happened that we had all these plans to grow, and it's just been so exciting to see everyone join part of our team. Gosh, 14 years later, and we have just grown, and we've learned a ton from our mistakes, and we've learned a ton from everyone who's come and joined the family, and it's been an amazing ride, and I'm so glad you have chosen to be part of it. I want to talk to you a little bit about our core values. When I was a therapist in the field, I worked for another company in 2002. And I wasn't in a position where I felt respected and appreciated and valued for what I did. And part of it was because I heard the owners of the agency laughing and talking about how employees were replaceable. So I decided right then and there that I was going to create a company that respected its employees and that had a commitment. And that's part of why our core values are care. So we have a commitment to making sure that we provide ethical, respectable services to our patients, but also from the perspective of being the employer of choice. It's so important for me as the owner of this company to know that you, as someone on our team, feels appreciated, respected, and valued for your opinions and the things that you do and the commitment that you show to this company. It's huge. And that's why if there is anything at any time that you feel like you need to have something that you need to talk about, I'm always available. just email me, call me, or come to my office. My door is always open. And I'm so glad you've chosen KidsCare Therapy to be part of your journey.